Welcome to Glossy, the podcast you didn't know you needed.
We're your hosts, Jaz and Hannah, friends for over a decade, bonded over a love of beauty.
Between us, we've done it all. Salons, makeup counters, film sets, fashion weeks.
Hundreds of bottles of fake tan and way too many products we probably didn't need.
Now we're spilling it all here. The trends, the treatments, the hot takes.
And the beauty confessions you won't hear anywhere else.
This is Glossy.
Hi guys, welcome to our very first episode of Glossy.
We are super excited to be here for our first episode and have you along for the ride.
Okay, let's get into it. We've actually got some drinks here to help celebrate from our lovely friends at Nectar. We've got some of their canned sangrias, which I'm excited for.
Yes, so there is white sangria, red sangria, and rosé sangria. What are you thinking?
Red sounds like a bit of me.
Delicious, and I might go rosé.
Celebrate sunny day. Let's have a sangria.
Exactly. It is Friday while we are recording this.
Thank you.
Delish.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yum. A bit too yum. This could be dangerous.
That's tasty.
Yeah, this could be
I feel
trouble.
like we might need some more. Okay.
Well, cheers to episode 1.
Here we are. And let's get started.
All right. Let's start with our likes and dislikes for the week.
Yes. Shall I go first? Or do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. So my likes of the week are fringes and face framing. I feel like that's been a theme with myself and my clients. I did cut myself a fringe and I am growing my hair. As you know, I have been a bob gal for
a very long time.
A very long time. And I just keep cutting my bob because I think it just looks fresh and nice.
Yeah.
I mean, even at the moment, I am seeing photos come up in my memories and I'm like, damn, it looks so good. But no, I'm growing it.
You've got to hold strong. I myself very recently had very short hair.
You did.
And I'm also on that journey.
It was a French bob.
Yeah, it was short.
Exactly.
Yes, I am no longer allowed to have a French.
Yes.
I'm allowed to have side sort of sweeping, but nothing blunt across.
Yes.
From the boss here.
I'm your hairdresser, so noted. Yes, so loving fringes. I think it's a great way to change your haircut without taking too much length off.
Yeah.
Same with face framing. I mean, you've got some really nice face framing in there.
If you do say so yourself.
True. And yeah, I've been doing that with my clients this week. So
amazing.
Love it. If you feel like a spring change, don't want to cut your hair, there you go. You can cut your front pieces.
Perfect.
And then, my dislikes this week has been Ryan, my husband, is away for a very long time in Australia working and I haven't been able to get to the gym. And you know me, I just feel like a little bit crazy with the kids.
Need a routine.
Yeah.
But that's going to change this weekend. Yes. Auntie Han, babysitting, so mum can get to the gym.
Sounds great. And what are yours?
So my likes this week, SPF. We should be wearing SPF all year round, but now it's spring, the sun is out, hopefully it stays. UV's higher, we should be wearing SPF every day, all day, reapplying, especially even on days when it's cloudy.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. There's no point doing other treatments and, buying and investing in expensive things if we're not keeping to the basics of SPF.
It's great advice.
Which then kind of leads into my dislike. I think the main thing would be overcomplicating things. I don't like an overcomplicated life, but also in routine, I'm very simple. So I think we're going to talk about this a little bit more later, but sort of overcomplicating the basics, like a skincare routine. We don't need 10 steps.
Yeah.
Overcomplicating makeup, overcomplicating hair, anything in life, overcomplicating, keeping it nice and simple.
Yeah. I love that. And just going back to SPF, do you have an SPF that you love and under makeup? Because that's quite hard to find.
It is, but I also think it depends on each person and what your skin is like. I've been trialing a couple recently, a few that I've been loving, but at the moment, it's kind of what works for you and your budget. You know, if you're going to Chemist Warehouse, if you're going to Mecca, they can be some incredible things, but everyone is different.
Before we go any further, I feel like we need to do an introduction to you guys because you're probably like, who the hell are these girls?
Who are you? Why are you talking to us?
Yes, and what do you know about beauty and makeup and hair and whatever? Shall I go first?
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it.
So here's a little quick intro. I'm Jaz. I come from a family of hairdressers. My nan's a hairdresser. My parents are hairdressers. My nan's been hairdressing for over 60 years, and she would hate for me to tell you that, but there you go. Beauty has like been in my life forever. I've grown up in the salon. I now own my own salon. I also met Hannah 13 years ago.
Yep.
Scary. At makeup school.
Yep.
So since then, I've also worked on set, worked on beauty counters. I met my husband, who's an actor, on set, and I have 2 young children, and I'm also an actress. So I've worked behind the scenes in a makeup and hair sense, and in front of the camera too. So
she has many hats, this woman, and she never gets tired. She's always adding something else.
I definitely get tired. My children.
And I'm Hannah. I have also worked in beauty for over a decade. I started off in makeup and then found my way into the brow and lash industry. I have worked as a brow and lash trainer. I have also done semi-permanent makeup. And then I also was at MAC as a MAC manager for a while. And now I am currently the brand and projects manager for a beauty company based in New Zealand, which is a bit of this and a bit of that, which is great.
Yeah, you're a real asset to their company. And not only do you have the best brows in the business, you also do the best brows. She does my brows.
Lots of practice.
Yes.
Right, so now for some quick fire questions. Jaz.
Okay.
What was your biggest teen beauty regret?
My biggest teen beauty regret wasn't necessarily a regret, but when I see photos of myself wearing this, I was like, oh my goodness. I also think it's a sign of the times.
Yeah.
Which was Snob lipstick.
I mean, I was guilty for the Snob lipstick. And I think now if you were to wear it with a slightly darker lip pencil, I think it would be great.
True. Actually, that's true. So then you could
kind of chestnut or cork or something just to add that depth back in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe that's next time you'll be wearing Snob. I would say as well, I don't have too many regrets. I'm kind of what will be will be. And, you know, I think with beauty, it's definitely one of those things to have a little bit of fun with. But I definitely loved my blush.
Yes.
My bronzer.
Yes.
Very, very heavy-handed, which I sometimes, I'm kind of heavy-handed now, but I was definitely a lot more heavy-handed. I had an black eyeliner, would rim my eyes with it, lots of bronzer, probably a little bit chavvy. Growing up overseas, there was definitely that English influence. So that was probably my teen regret.
What age would you say that was?
Definitely like 16.
Okay.
So old enough to know better.
Okay, I see. What is a product that you used religiously that now makes you cringe?
I would say I've always had pretty good skin.
Yeah.
So I definitely was always that one, you know, you'd see the ad on TV and it would be, you know, Morning Burst Cleanser or St. Ives Apricot Scrub and things like that now we know is terrible for the skin.
Yeah.
But at the time, if it had like some good branding and good marketing, I mean, I'm kind of the same now, but anything like that now I wouldn't dream putting on my face is definitely something.
Especially the apricot scrub, because it wasn't an apricot pip or pit kernels?
Yes. Oil. I mean, it was great. I for my arms and like things like that for exfoliation, but
on your face.
Yeah, probably not the best.
Yeah. Although I feel like you've always had amazing skin.
Lucky genetics, which is why I've been so bad. So I need to get better at that. That's my goal.
Hannah, when we first met, she, and actually probably well into our friendship, would, one, after a night out, not wash your face, and then two...
Still am guilty of that. If I will definitely fall asleep in my makeup, and it will sometimes look exactly the same the next morning.
Amazing. That is
not
amazing.
Great,
I definitely couldn't do that. I could be so drunk and like so out of it and still wash my face. I don't know how.
No, but absolutely
anyway,
not.
I used religiously, and now makes you cringe. I actually don't know something that I've used that I cringe now. Which is probably like things that I've done in my life, not beauty related, that I'm like, I wish I didn't do that.
I've got something that's beauty related that you did do in your early 20s.
I hope it's not a particular haircut.
No, a certain area of a haircut, a widow's peak.
Okay, yes, I can talk about that. And it's embarrassing to say as my hairdresser now, but I was so annoyed with my widow's peak that I shaved it off thinking it would stay like that. And of course, the next day it was like...
Bit of regrowth already.
Bit furry. And then suddenly it was like this tuft of hair that Ryan called Dougie. That's what he called it. He had a name for it. But you can't talk because you had a widow's peak and you didn't like it and you lasered yours.
And my sideburns.
Amazing.
I lasered all of that off.
You wouldn't even know now.
Well, no, they've never grown back, which has been great.
Incredible.
Yeah, so laser hair removal.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Unless you are pregnant or have a baby.
Yes, hormones.
Yeah, exactly.
Or blonde.
That.
But dark-haired people like me, 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Okay, great. Love it. Shall we go into our hot takes?
Yes.
Going back to what you kind of brought up with your likes and dislikes was kind of like overconsumption and marketing. Should we kind of chat about that?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like now more than ever, the beauty space and, you know, the world in general is... We've never had so much information at our fingertips, but we've also never had so much information pushed on us at any one time. You know, we have social media, Instagram, TikTok. We've got marketing through retargeting. You know, if you go on a website and you see something and then for weeks later you're followed by that, you know, image or it's following you around, which is great for marketing purposes, but also makes it really confusing to know what should I do? What shouldn't I do? Yeah. What's good? What's not good? Is an influencer being paid to use something or do they genuinely like a product?
Is it authentic?
Yeah.
Is it not?
And then there's all these products coming out onto market. Each week it feels like there's new brands, new products, new celebrity brands coming out.
Yeah.
So it's a really hard place to navigate.
Yeah. And I think more so now than even when we went to makeup school. Yeah, I agree, especially with the thing like on Instagram and TikTok, you don't know if it is authentic. Yeah. You don't know if somebody is getting paid to promote that thing. I get that. I do a lot of curly clients in the salon, and curls are an interesting one because you do have to have specific curl products.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll get new clients in and they'll be like, my hair's not doing this. I want my hair to look like that, and show me photos of not influencers as such, but people who their whole Instagram is about styling their curly hair. So they bring that in as reference. And then I have to kind of navigate and, I don't know, communicate with them that this person is most likely getting sponsored for this product that they're promoting or these tools that they are using. Not only that, but this is like a job for them because you can see it on their page, even if it says, you know, gifted or PR. And they're spending probably hours a day to style their hair to look like that. And in real life, or as soon as you go outside, it's probably not going to look like that.
Yeah.
So it is really hard. That's just from a curly point of view, but it's the same with makeup and fragrance or products. And I guess also sometimes you can feel like if I don't have those things, I'm not going to look like that. Whereas most likely
they don't look like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or most likely we have those products in our makeup bag. I think we forget about products like a blush, for example. Blush lasts ages.
Yeah, definitely. But also that's the whole thing. There's trends that come up, or, this is good for this person, but it might not actually be good for you. And it is really important to kind of work on what is good for you, because we'd have, in our makeup kits, products that we absolutely love and our, ride or die, but they're not necessarily the same. Or there's things that we might have in our personal makeup collections that we would never dare put in our kit because we know it doesn't work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think it's very confusing out there to say, you can't get this look without using X, Y, and Z. Whereas actually those colors might not even be very good for you and you should be using this instead. So it is one of those things that you need to have a play and see what you like or what you don't like. But, watching a TikTok video of this person, even if they use certain products, you won't look like that when you use those products at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the other things is skincare. It's so confusing out there with, 10 steps of your skincare routine. Do I have to be doing this every day? What's good? What's not good?
Yeah.
If you're not going to do the core steps in a skincare routine, there's no point adding in a mist and a toner and this and that if you're not doing your basic cleanse, hydration, SPF. And that's where then you can start adding serums and an eye cream. Actives in. But if you've not got that really great base there, you don't need to be going out and spending thousands of dollars just because someone said that this transformed their skin.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think if you do have an issue that you're trying to kind of navigate, maybe you have really bad breakouts or you have fine lines and you don't know if that's dehydration or not, see a professional.
Definitely.
There are options. It doesn't have to be expensive. There are options that you can kind of do, and there are skin treatments that you can do that help with that. And I feel like sometimes products, especially from, say, a chemist, can only go so far, or the actives might only be a certain percentage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you can get lost with marketing this amazing new cream with B vitamins or vitamin C is going to do XYZ, and then you've just spent $70 to $100 even more dollars and it hasn't done anything.
Yeah, and it can always come down to what the actual percentage of that product is that they're advertising, but sometimes these products then also don't talk to the other ingredients in that product. So it might say, it's going to reduce fine lines and wrinkles, but what's supporting that, or to what tests and studies. So it can be confusing and you just don't know what they say and what they actually do. My product of the week is the Plump Extreme Lip Serum.
Amazing.
So this one, it's very spicy, but it definitely increases the size of your lips, gives them a little bit more of that blush with the increased blood flow. And they also have a hydrating hyaluronic lip product that goes on top as well, which is very nice. So those are probably my go-to. Lips are always a very big thing for me.
Yes. I feel like you are the lip queen in terms of those
trialing and
products.
playing. Yeah.
Yes. It was, when I've used it was spicy, but it doesn't last for long. But your lips literally are
for hours.
plump. Yeah, they look amazing.
And with the hyaluronic as well, over time, it actually helps with the hydration of your lips. So it's kind of, you do the first one for the plumping, and then the second one is for lip health, which is really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I have 2 products of the week. One is probably my product of the year. Which is the Kosas concealer.
Love
creamy
it.
Concealer.
Big fan.
Yes, it's highly pigmented. It's very creamy. It goes on the skin beautifully. I feel like no matter what my skin is doing, if I'm breaking out, if my skin's looking good, it always looks great. And I think it's a staple in not only my personal makeup bag, but also my kit. Whenever I'm doing makeups and I use it, I feel like everybody is wanting to take a photo of what it is.
Yeah.
And then
I think one of the good things about Kosas is a lot of their products are that hybrid between skincare and makeup. Right. Which is why I think it goes on so many skins so well, because it just sort of blends in. It adds that hydration. There's other benefits to it.
Yeah.
Whereas some other concealers can be a little bit heavy. They don't necessarily move very well. Yeah. So I think Kosas is definitely pioneering.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, with all their skin products I love, they've got beautiful blushes, their lip products. Actually, brow gel, so good. And their lip pencil, I think it's called Hot Liner, and that stays on so well. I love it. I also like that you don't have to sharpen it. You just twist it.
Very Perfect. Good. I always lose a sharpener.
Yes, me too. And then, something I've rediscovered in my makeup kit when I was cleaning it last week was the Benetint. Benetint.
Love it.
Yeah, I feel like that has been around for
a very long time.
Years and years and years and years. And maybe it's just with stains trending at the moment and things like that. I was like, I'll try it again and love it. I've been using it as a almost like a liner, like a stain liner. And then I've been popping it on a fluffy brush and then putting it on my cheeks and just like on my nose softly.
See, blush queen over here.
Exactly. And then I have been putting a blush over top.
Yeah.
But, and then like a nice soft lip product.
And do you feel like putting the Benetint, then a blush over the top, lasting longer?
Yes, I do. I definitely wouldn't put a liquid liquid after a powder.
Well, I would.
Seriously?
Now. Yes. I saw Patrick Tarr.
Yeah.
He has got a whole range of products that are both creams and powders. Oh. And with some of his, he did a demo recently where he did his powder and then he presses in the cream on top. And I've started doing that. And I thought, it's going to pill or it's going to separate. But it's been great. And it kind of gives you that sort of softness, dewy creaminess versus being overly powdered. I'm a big fan.
Right. I love that.
Not sure if it would work for the Benetint being such a liquid,
true.
But cream products, definitely give it a go.
Wait, so how do you apply the cream?
I do my makeup, then I put the cream blush or highlighter on a brush.
Okay.
And then I sort of pop it on. And then if I need to, I can use a beauty blender afterwards just to press it in.
Are you swiping or you're just pressing
it on?
Interesting. What sort of brush?
I have used a few different brushes, but anything that is kind of like a kind of concealer type brush or a foundation brush that's a little bit bigger is great for it.
Love it.
Yeah. Give it a go. See what you think.
I will.
Report back.
So now we're going to get into our confessions. Hannah doesn't know what this is.
Do I need a drink for this?
I have read it. I don't think you need a drink for it, but
a little sip.
Let's do it anyway because it's nice and warm today. Tasty. So this is what we are calling Glossy Goss. Get ready.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm sitting down.
Okay. Hi, girls. This is from one of our new followers who's apparently been following you and me. So, hi, girls. I've been following you for a while and I'm so excited. 2 Kiwi girls are finally doing this pod. We're excited too.
We're excited.
Yay. So, here's my dilemma. I have been with my boyfriend for 2 years and I really do love him and see a future with him. Love that. But when it comes to beauty, he always has something to say. He's always like, I like you natural, and then he'll make digs like fake tan looks orange or filler or Botox just makes girls look weird, and he says, you don't need that stuff, you're beautiful as you are. Thoughts on that so far? I feel like guys say that and little do they know.
Yes. I think often they might say that with certain products. You know, they like girls with no makeup, but actually they like girls with very soft makeup. Or they like girls that don't do Botox or fillers, but actually they just don't like girls that are overfilled with products.
True. So they're noticing people who might have more obvious.
Yeah, and they don't like that.
Okay.
Is what I would
take from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, she goes on. The thing is, oh, here you go. The thing is, I actually have had Botox and filler.
See?
He just doesn't know. When I got Botox, he even told me that I looked beautiful. But instead of feeling good, I felt a bit of a fraud because the version of me he's calling beautiful is actually thanks to those treatments. With filler, I've avoided him for a few days after so I don't have to hear the comments. Okay? I'm 28 and I don't think it's crazy to want a little preventative Botox at this age, but I don't want to feel guilty every time I book something. Do I tell him the truth and risk a fight? Am I selfish if I keep doing what I want? Or is it unfair of him to expect me to stop? Am I overthinking this or is this a red flag?
Oh, well.
I feel like there's a lot to unpack there.
I was going to say, I feel like there's a few different points. I personally believe that if it makes you feel good and you like it, you should do it and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. I think a lot of people get things like Botox and no one would know that they've had Botox. Ideally, if you have great Botox, all it's doing is softening lines, maybe making you look a little bit more refreshed. It's not changing the way you look. Mm-hmm. So I think when people go into it, like I said earlier, and say, oh, I don't like, Botox or fillers or certain treatments, they're just talking about the extremes that they might have seen on social media or on a type of, show like Married at First Sight or Love Island, and it's that extreme of it. Mm-hmm. I think if you're with someone who's telling you not to do something, and if it's coming from a place of, care, potentially, but if it's something like this, it's going to make you feel good and you're already getting it done, I don't think you should stop just because of someone who might not be educated on the topic.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially if you say you love him and you see a future with him, what are you going to do in 5 years?
When you've got merged bank accounts.
Exactly.
You can't hide it.
Exactly. And then what are you going to say? Oh, I've been getting it for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand feeling awkward about it, but I agree with you if it makes you feel confident. And also, he's saying you look beautiful because, that's how you've decided to present yourself and how you feel confident from those treatments. So it's I don't know. I don't think it should be his opinion whether he says you should do it or not. You should say, I would like to do this. This makes me feel really good. It's not necessarily for anyone else. And kind of maybe talk through it with him. I don't know, maybe have an open discussion.
I don't think getting a little bit of Botox or a little bit of filler is really actually going to change your look. So him saying that you look beautiful, he means it. Like, it's not a lie.
Yeah.
And that is you. You've just, it's like you've had a really good night's sleep or your skin's really hydrated. I always find after Botox, you get a bit of a glow a couple of days later.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you're a fraud or that you're someone you are pretending to be someone different. And I think when we look at it, like things like hair transplants for men have gotten so much popular.
True.
If someone's not happy with their teeth, they might get braces or they might get veneers. It's not saying that that person is any less than just because they've decided to do something to make them feel better about themselves. It could be, if you're not happy with the way you look in the mirror, you might go to the gym a little bit more or go and do some exercise. Or, if we're feeling a little bit pale because it's winter and we might want a little bit of tan. I'd rather someone fake tan than go outside and sit in the sun
100%.
for hours and get burnt and, ruin their skin. So I think we always are wanting to improve ourselves and, put our best foot forward. So I don't think getting a few little tweaks here and there is making you any less than.
I also feel like as a hairdresser, similar thing.
Changing your hair colour.
Changing your hair colour. It's something that can make you feel instantly more yourself or feeling more confident. And again, I think life's short.
Yeah.
You should be allowed to do those things if you want to. You have control over yourself and your body. And also it's your money.
Definitely. And it's not things that last forever, you know? So if you have something and you enjoy it the way you look then and you decide in a few years you don't actually want to get it done again, you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, if he's making you feel bad about it, I'm not a fan. And I think you should do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, and I think you should have an open conversation about it, because I don't think you should feel guilty, and maybe give him the benefit of the doubt by actually, I'm going to educate you on what it actually is and how this makes me feel, and it's really important to me. So yeah, just sitting down and explaining that to him, or just don't tell him and keep doing it.
Yeah, he will not know.
No.
I promise you.
Maybe
true. Just after you get the filler, he might know, but he will never know you've had the Botox done. So we've shared our likes, regrets, hot take, and glossy goss.
Thank you so much for listening in to our first episode of Glossy.
Follow us on Instagram at GlossyPod and send us through your glossy goss, dilemmas, and anything you really want to know. Nothing is off limits.
And next episode, we're going to be delving into all things hair.
We have our in-house expert here.
Yes.
And she'll be answering all those questions like, can I actually be using supermarket shampoo?
And how to grow your hair quicker. Can it be done? Well, you'll have to listen into the next episode.
This is Glossy. See you next time.
Bye.